Clear. With regards to the culture of a student of knowledge, the culture of a Muslim, having your own taste, your own style, how far can you go, what is considered to be too far, so on and so forth. طيب. Well, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, in many of his books, he talks to different crowds and different audiences. And that's why the scholars of Islam, they say that it's a capital mistake to just take Ibn Taymiyyah's words and always apply them to every situation and every person. And that's because Ibn Taymiyyah wasn't just writing just to Muslims or Sunni Muslims or Muslims with the correct Aqeedah wa Asma wa Sifat or the Qadr or the Sahaba. Oftentimes Ibn Taymiyyah is speaking to different what? Audiences. Whether he's speaking to them, addressing them, challenging them, debating them, or whether he's making taqreer. He's establishing the truth, speaking to someone who's on the fitrah, speaking to someone who's already a scholar, etc. So Ibn Taymiyyah has different audiences. So this is one of the reasons why we find a very consistent style in many of his books, and that is al-istidlalu bil-muttafaq alayh ala al-mukhtalaf fi, or al-istidlalu bil-mu'talif ala al-mukhtalif. Okay, or al-muftariq. Is that a person, he does what? Ibn Taymiyyah, he says that he uses a principle that is agreed upon to lead the person to a principle which the people what? They differ on. Starting at a neutral ground, as we said. That which is agreed upon. And then stepping gradually to that which the people actually what? Don't agree on. So it's an extremely important qaida that Ibn Taymiyyah mentions in many of his books. You read his books, you'll find this. If he's talking to someone from the Ash'a'ira or Ahlul Kalam or the Mu'tazila, you find him mentioning things that they agree on. And then ... you have to accept this. But before all of this, the Quran al-Kareem, Allah mentions his rububiyyah to force them to accept his what? His uluhiyyah. Did everyone understand this? Tawheed al-rububiyyah necessitates and requires al-uluhiyyah. Everyone understand this? It doesn't include it, but it what? It necessitates it. If you accept Allah as the only Lord, then you have to accept him as being the only one who is worship. Everyone understand this? And that is why Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions these things. We're not going to go any further on that and how many different directions we can take that in. What's the point of even mentioning this thing to someone who isn't a Muslim unless you're trying to do what?
Bring them Islam.
Common sense. We'll show you that, okay? The point I'm trying to make is that let's start off with that which we agree upon, and then we can move towards that which we disagree on. So what's halal and what's haram with regards to your own style? A person says, I like gold. I like solid gold. I like gold watch. I like a gold chain. I like a gold ring, gold teeth. That's my style. We say that can't be your style if you're a man. Because solid gold is what? It's haram for a Muslim man. So we agree on that. Another brother says, my style was to wear silk. Silk is smooth, it's nice, I can breathe with it, so on and so forth. I like to wear silk. That's my style. When I wear a silk suit, people look at me, they respect me, I can do this. When it comes to them, I can breathe, so on and so forth. We say that can't be your what? That can't be your style. And any other thing upon which the Muslims agree that it's haram to have that as your what? Style. As far as that which the ulama of Islam differ, some say yes, some say no, there's more room. A person may say, I like to wear my pants beneath my ankles. I don't consider it haram. Most of the ulama of Islam don't consider it to be haram. Most of them, the overwhelming majority. It's not saying that it's right, but I'm trying to make a point. That's my style. These are the pants I like to wear. I like to go to a college, or I teach, or I have an academic debate. I don't go in there with my trousers high. They're normal beneath my, that's my style. I may say that's not my style. I like mine to be above my ankles. Now this is mukhtalaf. We differ on that. I can't criticize you for your what? For your style. Everyone understand this? Third step or level is that which is clearly permissible. There's no difference of opinion. There's no problem. You do it. It's unconventional. It's unorthodox. That's your what? Wear whatever you want to wear. You want to wear green, red, blue? Tfaddal. You like to wear this kind of shirt. You like to wear this type of design or logo. That's you. And this is what I like to wear. Ohio State is my style. Why are you wearing a red hoodie? Because I what? I like to wear a red hoodie. Is it an authentic hadith that I can't wear red? Is it an authentic hadith that you can't wear Ohio State? That's my what? That's my style. So the basic rule is that as long as it's not haram, it's not an innovation, it's not impermissible, then you can do it on one or two levels. Either it's totally permissible, or is an issue of ikhtilaf, and you hold that view that it's permissible to wear red. Obviously, the one in the middle, you have to be a bit more cautious. And one may say, if there's a difference of opinion and you're a student of knowledge, you're a speaker, you should stay away from it. Even though it could be halal, but you should what? But that's always going to be what? That's subjective. All khilaf isn't strong. And even if the khilaf isn't strong, it doesn't mean that you have to follow the precaution if you feel that it's what? Permissible. With the dalil. The Prophet ﷺ wore red. The hadith about wearing red, certain says they're da'if. That's my view. Is ikhtilaf, I'm a speaker, I'm in front of the people, I'm in public, but I want to wear red. That's my style. There's nothing wrong with that. So as long as it is not haram, if there's a difference of opinion, you have your proof, you have your evidence, and it isn't something which is really, really, really outlandish, which is unbefitting, even if it isn't haram, there's nothing wrong with that. And the Prophet ﷺ was asked about a man having nice clothes, about a man having nice shoes. Is that pride? We know what the Prophet, he said that's not pride. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, when he saw the man and he had on the tattered clothes, and he asked him, what type of wealth do you have? And the man informed him of the wealth that he has. I have land, I have farms, I have slaves, I have so on and so forth, much wealth. And he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ إِذَا أَنْعَمَ عَلَى عَبْدٍ أَحَبَّ أَنْ يُرَى أَثَرُ نِعْمَتِهِ عَلَيْهِ. Allah likes to see the effects of those blessings on his servants. So your style is open for whatever you like. As long as it's not haram, as long as it's nothing which is unbefitting, you are free to do what? What you want to do. Whether that pertains to the style of dress, or whether that pertains to the style of teaching. If you want to do a talk walking, you want to do a talk sitting, you want to do a talk in an airplane or in a car, no one can say, oh, that's unbefitting. You shouldn't do a talk standing up. Why not? Because it wasn't done in the past, that doesn't mean that it's impermissible. Everyone understand this? Let alone we live in a changing world in which flexibility, maneuverability, and elasticity are extremely important. Three principles. Flexibility, maneuverability, and what? Elasticity. You got to be elastic. You got to be able to stretch, to contract. You got to be able to adjust and to reach people at different times, different situations, different cultures, different races, different religions. And as we said before, a very, very important point for da'wah in 2019 is how we live. We live as Muslim minorities. We live as minorities. We are not the majority. So we have to be mindful of that. We live in a secular world. Not a secular country, but a what? A secular world in which there's church and state in most of the places in which you go. Maybe not all, but what? Most of them. Even in the lands of the Muslims. That's how it is. So you have to be mindful. Why am I remaining upon this old way? Is it obligatory? Is it recommended? Or is it just the way that they used to do it back then? Even though it isn't the most effective way. Rather, the people are not listening. They're not coming. You have to be mindful. Then you also have to be mindful of your level of knowledge. A scholar has to carry himself in a way. Someone who's just a da'iyah has to what? Carry himself in a way. Even though, is there a difference or should there be a difference between a scholar and a caller? That needs to be investigated. The people today who separate the two, he's a da'iyah, he's a scholar. Isn't a scholar also supposed to be a caller? هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله. Everyone understand this? So everyone is supposed to be a caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many people, last but not least, the last part of my answer is a piece of advice for many students of knowledge and brothers that come back from the overseas. They come to the United States and they says, I don't want to be an imam. I don't want to be an imam. I'm a scholar. I'm a researcher. I'm a resident scholar. I'll just give the lecture. I won't do this. Subhanallah, yani, as if being an imam is a bad thing. As if it's a negative and derogatory thing. As if you've been demoted from status by you being the leader of people. Everyone understand this? The Prophet ﷺ was a what? Everyone understand this? وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. The text of being an imam. Everyone understands being a leader. And the same applies to da'wah. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا. Who's better in statement? مَمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Allah says no one is better in statement than he who calls to Allah, performs righteous deeds, and declares himself to be a what? A Muslim. Who's better than him? So we have to be mindful and we have to be careful of these foreign elements coming upon our Islamic understanding of a da'iyah, of a scholar, of an imam. I don't want to be this, I'll be that. Why can't you be both? And most importantly is the wise man, he once said, he said what? He said, cry east, strike west. Cry east, strike west. You figure that out and you get the whole entire concept of what can and cannot be your what? Your style. Wallahu a'lam.